Reactive training systems.
Just finished recording a podcast with Coach Jeremy Hartman. If you're not sure who he is, I definitely recommend that you look him up. He's coached 3 lifters to the IPF world level, all in pretty close succession to one another from nothing, basically from the first time that they touched a barbell all the way up to that level. So I think he's a really impressive coach. He's also a good friend of mine. He and I go back quite a few years, but anyway, so just finished recording a podcast with him, and one of the things that came up, that topic that I thought was interesting, is kind of what things do we do differently now with our athletes, especially compared to what we did as athletes ourselves, since both he and I are kind of on a competitive hiatus at the moment. One of the things that came up was that we both have longer off seasons and take more time away from hard competitive training than either of us did when we were competing. So we have our athletes, we both do that a little bit differently. I know Jeremy does more of a dedicated off season. I tend to distribute our off season work a bit more generally throughout the annual plan. Either way will work, but you need some time away from the heavy pounding. It's not so much a recovery thing in the sense of, your muscles or tendons, or you don't need recovery in a performance sense, but it can be beneficial for health and longevity and well-rounded development and things like that. Taking that time gives you a chance to focus on things that you otherwise don't get to do in normal powerlifting training, just out of sheer time limitation. Things like working in other planes of movement, or single leg work, or more dumbbell work, or doing movements and things that you would otherwise neglect. Working tempos that you don't otherwise get to train. So you can take that opportunity and improve your development as an athlete, have a more well-rounded development, and that will help you respond better to training when you return to more dedicated training. So it's not so much about that causing way better adaptation or way better results in the short term, but it rather enables better results when you get back to the more effective stuff later on. So just wanted to mention that real quick, because I thought it was interesting and I thought it was useful, and I hope you think so too. Thanks.
Reactive training systems.